What is a cult that pretends it's not cult? Avatar EPC, founded by an ex-Scientology member. Their vision is to enlighten the world. I've done their basic course, 9 days, which did have real good parts midweek, but the people there were weird. Some of them were straight outcast, weird, probably rejected by society somehow. One guy had a happy face. He kept on smiling because that would make him happy. I believe it to some extent that if you smile, you get to feel more happy, but this only works for a small part. He did it all the way. He coached me with some exercises, and surprisingly he really did help me, but man, was he weird. They told me that all they did was give you a training for money, but while doing the training they tried to trick you into doing the next course, the master course. The first course you did for yourself, the second one you did for the people around you, family, friends, name it. It felt really wrong, and I didn't do the master course. During the day opening they gave all of these subliminal messages, pushing you to subscribe to the master course. If you did, you got a badge with a star on it, so everybody could see it, and the rest of the week you got compliments and friendly conversations because of it. Right after lunch they showed videos of Harry Palmer, the founder, who did instructional or educational videos. These were horrible to watch, and after 2 days I skipped them. You had to leave lunch early, sometimes with an excuse, because otherwise they wouldn't let you go. They even checked the toilets. With 400 people doing the course, they didn't notice my absence, so that was good. It was amazing how quick I ended up talking to the top 3 people during that week, probably because I resisted. They were fascinated with me somehow. It was a strange group of people. After a while I realized that I didn't want any of them becoming my friend. After that week they kept calling me each month, and I couldn't pick up because I didn't know how to say no to these people. They are excellent salesmen and know how to keep you from saying no, like "but don't you want to be happy?" The trick was to say no real plain, decisive but not too, and never to use an excuse. If you said that it was too expensive, or that you had a holiday planned, they offered to help you ask for money from your boss for this training, or to help you to cancel the holiday. They did teach me some real good tricks, and it did help me clear my head for some time, but in the end I didn't want to be part of it. If you went all in, it meant daily contact with another avatar friend to do the exercises to keep you awake. It creeped me out. The troubled teen industry, youth residential therapy programs that are under-regulated and rampant with abuse, SA, and children's deaths said at the earlier programs were closely based off the teachings of a cult called Synanon. Not every program open right now is a cult itself, but their history is abusive and most programs do significantly more harm than good. Southern Pentecostal Baptist snake handlers grew up going to one of these churches. Long drive to a small church hidden in the woods. They honestly believed only their members were gonna make it to heaven. We saw some crazy stuff in that building. The Herbalife Company. Despite being accused of being a pyramid scheme, they continue to function similarly. There are some people from my childhood who became addicted to it, and they act very much like members of a cult. A lot of my friends and family tell me I'm unknowingly in the cult of Jeep owners. I mean, it's a Jeep thing they wouldn't understand. The Duggar family. Scientology. Yesterday, I actually observed a job posting that stated don't bother applying if receiving money is your main motivation. Here, we live like a family. One of the most degrading things I've ever read was that. Just to be clear, this job was compensated. They simply stated that they wouldn't be paying you much, I presume. MLMs, particularly Mary Kay. I once attended a convention as a consultant's guest in an effort to persuade me to go. Very Stepford-like. She also failed to inform me that you were supposed to dress up, so I arrived in jeans and a hoodie. CrossFit. Every cult denies they're a cult. Am I in a cult? Here's a quick checklist of red flags. Single figurehead, typically affluent and regarded as a religious figure or someone with access to one talks to God, has prophetic visions. The leadership may be a group, or even a corporation, but they usually point towards some form of divine guiding individual. An inner circle of acolytes that new recruits are expected to look up to and try to become. Examples include one of the figurehead's multiple wives, lieutenants, an MLM upline, or the team leader. Asking for too much money. A collection plate is normal, but if they ask for an amount that damages you, that's not okay. How much is too much is hard to say, but historically tithing refers to 10 and that's an absolute maximum. That's already a lot. So if you are expected to contribute more than 10 of what you have earned, that is highly questionable. Again, the key is if the amount is damaging to your well-being. Certain mainstream cults frequently request members donate their entire savings and house to the church as a test of faith and to ensure the member has nowhere to go if they try to quit. Cut off friends and family outside of the cult. The cult can't survive scrutiny from the outside world. Limiting interactions to other cult members means the cult is your source of information, creates a sense of us versus them, labels outsiders as a corrupting element, and ensures people who believe in the cult are your baseline social normal. Everyone else is abnormal and wrong. Control of personal life. A cult isn't just part of your life, it's your whole life. You are likely expected to devote an extraordinary amount of time to work, worship, event attendance. The cult may require certain dress, food, jobs, sleeping arrangements, event attendance, and volunteering for the church in a way that makes having a life outside of the cult impossible. The difference between a religion and a cult is that a religion is part of your life, but your entire life is just a part of a cult. Texas A&M, MLMs, CrossFitter here. We are absolutely a cult. Fish fan also. Huge cult. Ballet. You are basically at their whim. You are expected to pay tuition, costumes, dance wear, dance shoes, travel fees, competition fees, production fees, tickets, and do volunteer work and give up your entire schedule. If you complain at all about anything valid or not, they shun you by not giving your kid a good role or not moving them up a level. And they withhold attention to your child. You literally must schedule all life around ballet. And pay thousands and thousands of dollars so your kid can be in the back. If you quit, all the former dance parents and friends will shun you. SEC college football sauce live in the South. I've seen people nearly get into fistfights over this shit. Edit to all the people who have asked me, nearly? I was trying to give people credit, but y'all had to fuck that up and tell the truth. Limau. Mega churches. They're money cults. A few places of work. Those who emphasize the we're all family here approach, in particular. Jehovah's Witnesses. High-end raiding guilds in World of Warcraft. I'm not sure how much anymore. I haven't played in a couple years, but especially back in vanilla WoD LK days, being in a raiding guild really felt like being in a cult. Like, you were pretty much expected to give up everything outside of raiding. It would take hours upon hours a week of scheduled time with the guild, then many more hours outside the raiding to work up your professions, grind dailies. I've known people to neglect their health, kids, jobs, school, family, everything because their guild was determined to be the best on their server. You listen to the guild leader for your schedule and you live by it. You follow orders. And of course you can technically leave at any time, and you'll be kicked out if you don't perform well, but it's such an addiction that quitting it is like quitting a drug. It was easier for me to quit smoking than to quit raiding. No one, and I repeat, no one outpizzas the hut edit. Wow, thank you guys for the karma, I mean love. Made my day. Lol. Don't see anywhere where someone said fraternities, sororities. Wildly a cult. Was in one. Now I'm mid-30s and it's ridiculous what they make you do and how they make you feel. Especially at such a vulnerable age. There's the usual answers like religions, tech startups, etc., and then there's the BTS army. Literally all of them. There isn't a single cult, including the really scary ones that people make documentaries about, that believes it's a cult. Source: I was raised in the Children of God Family International. We never thought we were in a cult, but we very much were. Mommy groups, pyramid scams forever, Herbalife, etc. The Amish. They control nearly every aspect of their followers' lives and live in incredibly insular society. Sure, they let their kids experience the outside world and choose for themselves through Rumspringa, but they seemingly set them up for failure by throwing them into the deep end with no preparation at a time in their lives. 1721, when people aren't noted for great decision making. When the kids almost inevitably end up crashing and burning back into the fold, they are forced to remain for the rest of their lives through the threat of shunning, where even your own parents will treat you as if you are dead and invisible. Sure, they look quaint with their beards, buggies, and barns, but if you actually look at them critically, they're as bad as any other cult. They've just been around longer. Edit. Whoops, mixed thread and treat. Scientology. KKK. I may be downvoted for this, but the TikTok did community. QAnon. Whatever ridiculousness the transformed wife spreads. Some locations of work, especially those who promote the we're all family here approach. Megachurch evangelicals.
I hope you all are doing well, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed this video. If you have something to say critically or otherwise, leave a comment. And if you enjoy this content, don't forget to subscribe to see more of it. I hope you all have wonderful and fulfilled lives.